Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello. This is a awesome day for us here in the studio. Babes and Buds. I'm here with Jana.
Yeah.
And she is such an awesome lady in the cannabis community and, outside, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
When I met you, we, were doing some cool things like getting rid of grow tables.
Yeah, so you could park in the garage again.
Yeah, so I could get my garage back, and then come to find out you run a dispensary.
So I work for Quality Roots. One of our mottos is quality people, quality products, quality roots. So I'm a GM there and one of our patient care specialists, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's honestly my dream job. They're very involved in the community, which is huge for me. I've always volunteered in my community. So essentially it's just, a great dispensary, and we're going to have 7 all over the state. So eventually, yeah.
Ooh, so where do you have the dispensaries now?
So right now, the first one is in Battle Creek, so the creek, which is where I'm from. And, it's a strong community, so we'll bounce back from this corona. About to send out these emails to other local businesses and try to just collaborate with them and get the community back, after this, Corona comeback in the creek.
Comeback, yes.
So Corona comeback in the creek is what I've been calling it. So
I love it. I'm so happy that you're doing that, because you opened during this time.
Well, yeah. So the thing is we were actually going to open storefront right before all this happened.
Yeah.
And then Corona happened, and so we've only been able to open for delivery and curbside, which has been good. Don't get me wrong, but on the other hand, it's not what we originally wanted. But we're an essential business, and so we're helping out our patients, and that's what kind of sets us apart is just having our meeting our patients' needs. Just in so many different ways, just in the community and with their product, and just being really educated. All our staff is very educated to help all our medical patients. And we go rec next week, which is really exciting. So we don't have an exact date yet, but it will be, we'll be live for rec next week. And so we're just really excited and ready to
awesome.
Get the community to check us out and just pull up curbside. And we're abiding by the governor's rules at this time, so we're wearing masks and gloves and doing what we need to do to keep our patients safe.
Yes, that's so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you guys are going to be able to go rec. That's huge.
Yes.
That's so soon too after you guys open. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So how many other dispensaries are in Battle Creek right now?
Oh, there's quite a few. I want to say there's at least 9 with potential of more opening.
Wow.
What sets us apart is just, the love for our patients and taking care of our patients. And, some of them don't abide by the rules, and we do.
Yeah.
Our owner's background, his family owned a pharmacy.
Oh, cool.
And oddly enough, my grandparents owned a pharmacy. It was passed down from family to family in my family, and so it was just kind of crazy how, again, like how we met. It was kind of the same connection with him, and his hype for the cannabis community, and just he saw my visions too of what I want to accomplish. So they're very supportive, and it's amazing. I'm just loving every minute of it. Can't wait till we can have people come in the store too.
It's going to be a whole different energy that you can have your real opening, the real grand opening.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So our plan was to have this huge grand opening, quality of life party, is what they want to call it. And it would involve families too. It's not just, it's not just going to be for 21 and up. We were going to include families and, not even bring cannabis into it at that point, because we're more than just the cannabis.
I love that.
So, bringing in local food and vendors and just, all collaborating. And so that's on hold at this point until Corona, is out of the way, but hopefully that'll be soon.
Yeah, so soon. It'll happen. you know, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I keep telling people. I'm like, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
You brought me some awesome things today. Thank you so much.
You're
This is
welcome.
so generous of you. This looks beautiful from their dispensary. These awesome.
Yeah, we brought you some lemon do-si-do.
Lemon do-si-do.
Yeah.
And then
the hat.
Yes. Oh, the hat.
Yes,
too. I
yes.
love this hat. This is so cute.
We have
I need this
hats.
today.
Yeah, yeah.
I need this today. This is like, I feel like I look like a dude right now.
Oh my gosh.
Like with my headphones on. I love it. This is actually really working. I didn't get ready today for this reason. This is what I needed.
Perfect.
And this is like the coolest thing I've ever been gifted. I haven't smoked one of these yet. This is just.
Well, with the Corona,
so
I
awesome.
figured we would smoke, but we would need to, smoke our own to not puff pass. Per se. So so I brought you some GMO.
Thank you.
My boyfriend and I own a company. I'm silent in that. Really, he is amazing, and he's taught me a lot. And so we own Eyes Wide Shut.
Boom.
And we just kind of launched during this Corona, made us hustle more and kind of get some things done. So he works really hard on that and does a really great job.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just helping other growers and consulting, and he does brokering as well. But
I heard the guys were talking.
Yes,
You guys were over here.
Yeah.
And that's what my husband is saying. He's like, they're into like everything. They do
we try. Like we said, like we talked about before, the cannabis community is just amazing, and it's a chill community, and everybody can get along, and you don't have the drama per se, and all this other stuff, and it just makes for a better atmosphere.
Because we're all high.
Right, exactly.
Well, let's light these up.
Okay, sounds good to me. So what have you guys been working on?
I mean, we are just launching this, our company, our hemp train website and stuff right now. Oh, this tastes great.
Thank you. We worked hard on that.
So did you guys roll these yourselves?
No, these are the pre-rolls from King Palm. And to be honest, I just didn't want to share the germs of rolling something. So I was trying to be...
you are so cute. Oh, I love you. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I was telling you, we launched our CBD company, our hemp train.
Yes.
From our farm, and we had a get together last night. Our Corona safe get together, guys.
Yes.
Don't freak out.
Corona safe. That's why I did not pre-roll and lick blunts or joints.
Yeah, it's funny because like being essential workers, like people don't realize like we have to interact every day. Like we have to see each other anyway. Like
yes.
So it's just like a little bit different to think about, just like the lives of people that are actually like, they have to quarantine and not be around others, and we're like pretty much business as usual, except for when like we have to be with patients.
Right, exactly.
So that's been interesting, launching this company on, the Corona scare thing. And we had some really awesome edibles last night. I had way too many. Because they were good. That's what happens.
And if people don't know, I mean, do your listeners know how to offset the high of too much THC?
Oh yeah, like when you do that, just smoke CBD. Take CBD.
Right, take some CBD, a higher dose of CBD than the THC, and if you ever feel like you just had too much.
And it's true, it does work, but I was at the point, because I was so, like, first of all, I just made all the mistakes. I went to this thing, I took a shot of tequila, I didn't eat dinner, and then I was hungry on the way home, so I ate the entire bag of popcorn. And my husband was like, reaches for the bag when we get home, and he's like, oh my God, Christina, you ate like 290 milligrams of THC. And then like at that point I just like started freaking out, and I just puked everywhere, and it was bad, and I was like, this is crazy that it's happening to me. And like we loaded a CBD bowl up and everything, but like it was too late. Like I was already puking, and
you were past that point.
fell asleep on the bathroom floor. Last night was not.
That's why with edibles you go low and slow, and if you've never had them before, you know, you start out even lower than they recommend, I think, which is what 5 milligrams is what their recommendation is.
Yeah.
I would say even 2.5 for some people, because
some
people's, you know, endocannabinoid systems, they just can't.
Yeah.
They just can't handle it, and every person is different. So.
It is like personalized medicine, so you don't know how it's going to affect you until you try it.
Exactly.
So I've had some. Usually it's other people, because I smoke a lot of weed. You know, like I do consume a lot of THC on a daily basis, so I wasn't worried about it. And like, it's our edible company, you know, like they make our shit all the time. So I know that it's strong, but I was just stupid last night, and I was hungry, and I was like, these are good. And just like mindlessly eating, you know, chatting in the car, just making all the rookie mistakes. But I just felt like I couldn't believe it was happening to me, because I talk to people all day long who make edibles, who do the, you know, whatever. I did it. It can happen to anyone.
It can. I wanted to tell you, when I was listening to some of your podcasts, your prior podcasts, you talked about having a C-section. Yeah. Okay, so an odd thing is, I mean, I had C-sections with my kids as well, but also I used to deliver babies. I would help our doctors deliver babies. I worked in the medical field for 17 years. And so when you were talking about that, you know, you talked about, you know, the CPS visit and everything, and that, you know, I relate to that in the aspect of I was on, you know, the hospital side of it, seeing these things and seeing people who were doing way worse things, you know, and CPS does nothing, and, you know, it's just, not does nothing, that sounds bad, but
they don't really,
the way that the system is formed, it kind of holds them back as well, too, of what they can do. But, you know, it touched with me that you talked about that, you know, and talked about your C-section and, you know, thinking about VBACing and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's a weird world to be a woman, and I feel like that's why women bond so much in this community, is because men don't have to worry about fucking CPS. Like, obviously, if your wife has a baby, you gotta, you know, that's you're dealing with that too. But it's not in the same way. It's not directly like, you smoked weed, so you are a bad parent. We're gonna come to your house and scare you, and you know. Like,
when there's people who are taking prescribed medicines, which, you know, medications, which, you know, I've been there in my life too, you know, with, you know, that's kind of how I got started in the cannabis. Well, prior to me experimenting at, you know, as a kid, back in the day, but, you know, things are completely different now. And I just think that, you know, women have to build each other up in these circumstances, and, you know, I witnessed a lot of people on these medications who were taking, you know, Xanax and everything, and they're prescribed to them, and there's no involvement. And that to me is a problem.
That's
you know,
a huge problem. They don't even show up. They don't even call.
No, and you know, and I used to take anxiety medication, and now, you know, my anxiety medication is cannabis.
Right.
And it works for me, and it's natural, and I'm not taking something else to offset the other thing that I'm taking, and then taking something else to offset that. And
that's what happens though, is like, it's a slippery slope, and you end up being on all these medications, and like, you don't really feel better, like you feel like shit still.
Right.
And you're just like, why am I even doing this? But yeah, that's the thing. You know, I talk about all the time. That's the reason I started my show. And
oh yeah, for sure.
What's crazy to me is like to see that happen, and like I've seen parents who should not have their kids with their kids, even if CPS is called, even if like they get taken out of custody for a while, and then they still give these parents chance after chance, and like without, you know, either giving them the resources to help them get better and like, you know, help break the addiction. I feel like it's just not enough. Like what they're doing, they just need some help, I think, restructuring CPS.
And that's kind of, you know, what I want to happen, or what I want to see happen, is like this culture shift around cannabis, like getting rid of that stigma. Like that stigma should not exist. You know, there are people taking these medications that are far worse, or other illicit drugs that are
like shooting up, or like drinking,
just anything. And you know, and it's
It's ridiculous.
It is.
That's the one thing that I'm excited for, is just to not have to worry, about getting that call. Like, even though the lady that came over was so nice, like, it couldn't have gone better.
For sure. And they're doing what they can.
Yeah.
I mean,
she knew that she was wasting her time,
yeah,
and that's the thing that really is bothersome to me too. It's like, how would you feel showing up to someone's house the day they bring their baby home and like, that you are like the last person they want to see?
Right.
Like, I was shaking when that lady was here. She could see.
Sure.
I'm just like, so yeah, I just can't wait for that to be over with. And no more.
Well, my man is a smart man, and Travis said, way back during the Prohibition, what brought this country back was, bringing back the sale of alcohol. So hopefully, this situation will bring cannabis, to federal regulations.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's a really smart thought.
That is a smart thought.
So
I hope that he's right.
I hope he's right too.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I mean, how fast did we go from being a gateway drug to an essential business? Like, overnight.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, and we are an essential business.
Yeah.
We most certainly are.
It's nice to get that recognition, though, because, like, we know we're essential. We've been saying this for years.
Right. It goes back way further than all of us that are here listening.
Right. That's the thing that kills me, too. Like, on paper, we have our hemp company, that is brand new, but we've had a medical cannabis company for years.
Right.
But that's not, when you go to the bank and try to get a loan, they don't give a shit about that. They don't care. Even if it's all legal, everything, know. So anyway, we're like, we go to the bank, we're trying to get an RV loan because we want to buy an RV, make a mobile Babes and Buds studio.
Yeah.
And we're like really excited. My cousin got a job as an RV salesman this year, and I'm like, yes,
even better.
Yeah, so we're pumped. We go, and like our credit scores are awesome right now. We get pre-approved for this loan for the RV, and we're like, yeah, awesome, cool. We're gonna get an awesome RV, and then we get denied for the loan because the hemp industry is too new.
Oh my goodness.
The industry that this country was built on is too new. So we did not get approved. And like, you guys see our bank accounts. You know how much money we have here. Like, you see that we pay our bills on time.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
So hopefully this will, bring some federal recognition to the cannabis community. And I mean, it's just a different world. The fact that people can't accept it, it's maddening sometimes. But
it is.
But again, we're all very chill people,
right?
And their opinions don't matter to me, to be honest. So I just try to move on from that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like the only time I really get upset is like when it's like affecting me in that way. Like, and I don't really surround myself, like, as you grow in the industry, you just like, everyone around you smokes weed or like uses weed, so like you don't really have to worry about that. Like, your families know, like, it's not like the secret you're like hiding. Like, I remember when we first became growers, we were like, we can't ever let them out in the barn, we gotta get fans to get the smell. And it was like, as soon as we told them, they're like, cool,
okay,
like, they don't care. My mom and grandma are both patients of mine now. It's like I feel like most of the fear is like internal, but there are times when it's real, like when people really are judging you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, my kids are older, so that's a hard thing for me. I continually educate them.
Good.
Because but again, I'm educating them on the science factors, but also on my opinions.
Yeah.
I want them to form their own opinions, but I also can tell them constantly, unless you're 21, it's same with drinking. You just you can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the hard thing too. Like, I feel like for us, that's why we're like working through all these issues with my little 14-year-old sister right now.
Oh yeah.
Because she's like, at the age where she thinks like vaping is cool, and I'm like, bitch, don't you see everyone dying from these vapes? Like, she's like, well, I think it's better for you than weed. And I'm like, no. Like, you sit down right now. I'm going to tell you all of the reasons that is the dumbest thing you've ever said. And, like, so she knows now not to, like, to say that. And even if she was just messing with me, I made sure.
Right.
I was like, you will not leave this house.
Right. I mean, educating them, continually educating them is, is important too. So,
yeah.
Because, I don't want to hide behind those factors. But, there is that stigma, and I'd like to erase it. And again, that culture shift.
Yes.
Just changing the way that other people view it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to smoke it. I'm not saying you have to even agree with it, but be accepting.
Yeah. And I think it's like, last night, what kept going through my brain, I was like, oh my God, this has happened to people who've never smoked weed before, who luckily, I knew I wasn't going to die, I knew I was fine, but had I never experienced THC before, that would have probably freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, and that's why I asked if your listeners had heard of how to counteract that, just because it can be a scary thing for people,
Yes.
So.
Absolutely. And that's, I feel like, I say this all the time, CBD is the bridge between the people who don't use or not supportive of cannabis and, the weed community. Because CBD is all of the magic of THC without the psychoactive.
For sure.
So, my dog is barking. I feel like our yoga class is here. What time is it?
It is 1:43.
Okay. So, no, not yet. She's just barking for no reason. So what are these cool things that you're doing in the community right now?
So right now we're just trying to start connecting with all our local businesses, just kind of advertise each other, because that's what our local businesses need right now is, they need our support, and, they need people to order their dinners from there, or, order pickup, curbside for, the flowers from a greenhouse of somebody, you just have to support those local businesses. So through advertising and, social media, just reaching out to them, and just, we're trying to come up with this great, well, we actually have a plan for it. It's called 10 for 10. So our local companies combine with us, and we all collaborate and get all these benefits from it, like advertising, like I said, the advertising, the social media, and just combining all of our thoughts and creative ideas, just helping each other out in any way, shape, or form, just to get the economy back up and, get our local communities where they need to be.
I love that. That's so wonderful that you guys are creating that space to have everyone come together.
Yeah.
It's so important right now, and that's, people like you are what's going to keep this economy, the COVID comeback.
Yeah, exactly. COVID comeback in the creek. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just, fighting for our patients and what they deserve, and just hoping for a lot of great things to happen. Just being able to open storefront would be nice. We have some elderly patients that have pulled in and want to come in the store, but they can't. Yeah. They don't have internet access.
Yeah.
So that's really hard, and you want to help them, and, there's just, we can't, unfortunately, and it's too bad. We try to, we're bringing out iPads now and stuff like that to kind of help them a little bit more. We're constantly wiping everything down, so once a patient has touched something, it's wiped down and nobody, set to the side, and the next person has a different machine until that one's dried off, and, so it's just, we're doing great things, and I'm excited to see what the future brings.
I'm excited too.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome. I can't wait to go and check it out and do, maybe go live from your event.
Yeah,
cool
we've talked about that too. Yeah, we have. We've talked about that, having you do a, live podcast from the store. Just all kinds of different things. We're bringing in local artists, their work, and just things like that. Just trying to buy from Michigan. Those are the things that help the state and our local economies too.
It's so important.
And the cannabis community, which is,
It's strong here in Michigan. It's one of the cool things about living here. It's weed central. It's weird. It's a little bit weird out here because this is a really Greenville. The best marketing in the world is going to waste because the people in our town are very
strict,
conservative.
They're
very.
That's unfortunate.
It's really just it's just one guy on our board who is I've heard the rumor that he's going to step down so many times and be replaced. I don't even know. I don't want to get my hopes up ever again.
Right.
But yeah, everybody else is on board. I guess when the Electrolux plant out here closed down, that was like what,
Really?
It really made the economy just kind of plummet.
Right.
So when that happened, I guess everybody that stayed in business had a weed grow. Like, that's how they were paying their bills.
Yeah. I mean...
And the guy that owns the hydro shop down here, he was telling us about that, and he's like, yeah, all of the businesses, the local businesses that stayed here through that depression, they only made it because of weed. And I'm like, That's a beautiful weed story.
Yeah, it really is.
That's, I feel like that's probably the case of so many businesses all around the country, but, like, you'll never hear about it because it's weed, and it's the worst thing in the world. Like, okay. Whatever.
Right. Well, we're going to prove that wrong.
Yeah, we are. It's changing right now.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I am so excited that we're doing this, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I love your earrings, by the way.
Thank you.
I've been wanting to say that since I,
Thank you, Etsy.
Those Etsy.
Yes.
I'm getting on Etsy.
Yeah, I love Etsy.
Those are perfect. Those are the
They have a lot of cannabis products on Etsy as well.
I never even thought about it.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of original stuff. And I just, I really try to, again, appreciate those people who are, super artistic. Yeah. And cannabis is an art in itself. I mean, I'm a grower, and it's an art. It's hard, for sure.
Yeah,
so.
Especially when you take the time, when you make this beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell this doesn't happen on accident. This is a beautiful strain. And, you work hard for that. Like,
yeah,
do you remember your first harvest? Because, like,
oh my gosh. Yes, I do.
Think about how far you've come.
Oh, for sure.
And, like, all of the in-betweens.
For sure. I mean, I never dreamt that. I kind of got back into cannabis a few years ago. I randomly won this trip to California. Me and two friends actually won a trip to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, fun!
And so while I was out there, we were on Venice Beach, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm getting my card."
Yeah.
And we oddly enough met these people from Battle Creek on Venice Beach.
No.
And yes, and he took me to his place, like his friend owned it. And I got right in, and I was out, and I got my card, and then once I was back, it worked in Michigan, and so then I renewed with a Michigan card after that. But yeah, so it was just
such an awesome story.
It is.
Oh
it's
God.
So crazy, and and that just kind of changed so many things for me. And then when this dream job came along, I, just so many things I just couldn't pass up, and so it's just been an amazing ride.
That's
and
awesome.
I have cannabis to thank for it, and all these wonderful women in the industry, and the men too. I mean, they honestly, I've learned a lot from so many different people, and one of the best growers in Battle Creek, Tone. I mean, everybody knows Tone's trees. Like, everybody knows.
Tone's trees.
Everybody knows. And that, are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my blood. I'll just say that. So, I've learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from my man, and I just feel like, just having that women in the industry help empower as well is just an amazing thing.
It is. It's such a good energy, and it's like this time where it's all being built is so exciting to get in and, like,
for sure,
help everything get set up and just grow. Well, I love that you've been here today. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
Don't want to cut
having me.
Thank you for being here. I don't want to cut our time short, but
that's okay.
I scheduled back-to-back things today because I was like, I'll do it. I'm Superwoman. I can do it. And, like, of course,
last night happened, and
I'm just like, oh my God, no.
It's okay. You can do it.
I can do it. It'll be fine.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
I appreciate it.